This God actually has a gender. Let's do an experiment. Close your eyes and imagine who God is. In a human form, just imagine who God is. What does He look like? Just remembering with all the teachings and all the things you've experienced here on earth, who God is. How does He look like? What's He wearing? If you've gotten your image, you can open your eyes. For most of you, if not all of you, you saw a white, old dude. This white old man with beards wearing a white cloth. If that is what you saw, congratulations, you passed the programming. So why did most of us, if not all of us, saw a white old man? This is called psychological conditioning. I'll talk more about that in my upcoming videos. But for now, there was an interesting research that went on in 2020 in Stanford by a psychologist, Robert Steven. And he found something interesting. He found out that most people who conceptualize God as a white man are more likely to view white male candidate as more suitable for leadership role compared to black or female. So why is that? Does God actually has a gender? The answer is no. No one on earth has actually seen who God is. So why is God considered a male? The biblical authors living in a male-dominated world referred to God as Father, King, Lord. And this was based on its roots coming from Judaism, where in the Old Testament, the Israelites called God Father and Israel the Son. That's why when you read through the Old Testament, you see that when talking about the descendants of a certain individual, it's mostly mentioned just the sons. The women were mostly mentioned when they're talking about Rose as being a wife or has been a slave. But the sons were considered in hierarchy higher than the daughters. Actually, in Jews, the women were considered second class, so they were actually not educated also. So the question again is, does God has a gender? Still no. So why do we enforce a gender on it? I mean, I get it. We are living in a gender society whereby God has to be one gender here. And the question, why can't it be she? I remember I talked to my sister and said like, oh, have you really imagined God as a woman? And she was shocked like, oh God, woman? And that's made me start researching about God and the origin. Why can't you imagine God as a woman? If we're making His likeness, I mean, this is a woman. Why can't God be woman? So now, let's try it another time. Let's close our eyes and imagine who God is. Damn it, let's imagine the white dude. Okay, no. Let's try it one more time. But this time, I want you to imagine you. Because if you imagine who God is, you should see yourself. Because you're made exactly like God. So close your eyes now and imagine who God is. I hope you see you. Until next time, peace, love.